so it should be off my phone.
Cool. You guys have any big weekend plans? Anyone look at the forecast, actually?
No.
No.
Me neither, I wonder.
Power of Google.
There you go. Why don't you look it up for us, Jason, and tell us? Because I hope it's nice. Today.
Let's see. Next 10 days. Saturday and Sunday both 68 degrees and partly cloudy.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I like that.
Tomorrow's going to be 72 and partly cloudy.
Wow.
Then we get some rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
It's okay. It can rain while we're working.
Exactly. We're stuck in the office
I agree.
anyway.
I definitely agree with that, for sure.
Ready to go live?
You're already live.
No, but ready to start up.
Yo, go for it.
Let's do it. So welcome everyone to Actifio On Tech. Today is Thursday, September 20th, and I am Jay Livens, and along with me we have our standard guest, our standard co-host.
Guest.
Oh.
Wow, I've been
Co-host.
relegated already.
Yeah, there you go.
That is some BS right there. Thanks,
yeah,
Jay.
yeah. You're welcome, co-host, guest.
Unbelievable, this guy. I swear. Oh.
Well, you
What,
say a few
they
words?
know who I am?
All right, and then we have Dave.
I'm Dave Fowler. I run our enablement for partners, customers, and MSPs here. And I just couldn't let these guys do another presentation without joining them and enjoying a drink, talking about what's going on this week in technology.
Cool.
So speaking of that, today we have a special beer from Mr. Gio Tropiano, Cook's Illustrated. It's an IPA with El Dorado, and it comes from our friends at Trillium. So once again, going back to the well with Trillium, but this one's interesting. It actually has a little thing on the side that says, in 1993, the premiere issue of Cook's Illustrated arrived on newsstands and in mailboxes. Over the last 25 years, the brand has helped millions of home cooks become more successful in the kitchen, and that kind of achievement deserves celebrating. Trillium Brewing Company crafted this limited edition India Pale Ale from Massachusetts-grown malted grains and Washington State-grown hops in order to help commemorate the anniversary. This collaboration between Trillium and Cook's Illustrated also serves as a toast to both brands' dedication to the experimentation and hard work it takes to create something unique, creative, and delicious. Cheers to the next 25 years. So there you go. So we're going to try it out.
So what is El Dorado? Is that the kind of hops or something?
Yes, El Dorado is the kind of hops that comes from Washington State.
I see.
So Northwest hops.
I see. And are you a connoisseur of hops? And are we familiar? Can you provide some background on El Dorado hops?
No, I'm not Chris Murphy. I can't do that.
I see.
But I can tell you that, for example, most West Coast hops, like Chinook or an El Dorado, have that give that kind of West Coast profile and flavor where it's maybe a little more piney, less juicy. So, that's my agriculturist knowledge of hops and things like that. So I'll crack it open when you guys start with the topics.
All right, I'll start with one that was big in the news today. That was a little bit surprising to me. So there have been all these rumors about Amazon doing various things. And today, all of a sudden, they had this big press conference where they announced a really surprisingly large bunch of new products. So I have a printout here. So I will read what they announced because there are so many, and we can talk about some of them. Echo Dot, we know what that is, but it's been redesigned. Echo Input, connect the new Echo to a dumb speaker to make it smart. Echo Sub, a subwoofer with Echo functionality. Echo Link Amped and Echo Link. These are two amplifiers that I think allow you to play Echo music, Echo content over a speaker. Echo Plus, Amazon Smart Plug. This might be your favorite, Jason. Here we go. Wait for it. Amazon Basics Microwave. Nice. Just what, Dave, you've always wanted, an Amazon Echo Wall Clock. Yeah.
This is like
Amazon Stick-Up Cam. Sometimes I got some use to hold up a store or something, but Amazon Echo Show redesigned. Amazon Fire TV recast. Whisper mode, for those of us who have kids, she talks quietly so you don't wake the kids.
That's Alexa we're talking about?
Correct.
Okay.
Alexa. Routines. API for SDK. Alexa Hunches, which uses machine learning. Alexa Connect Kit. Amazon Wi-Fi Simple Setup. Alexa Guard. Alexa Doorbell API. And Alexa Smart Screen SDK. So any screen can be an Alexa-enabled screen. So let me start. Dave, what are you most excited about?
I'm really excited because this, to me, is remember the cartoons when you were a kid, and it would be the house of the future.
Yeah, totally.
And it'd be all automated. You wake up, the toast pops out of the toaster, and just this to me is a really a tangible step in that direction. We've heard about it, but it's always been kind of overpriced, and wasn't really accessible to everyone. But like the Alexa controlled plug that you talked about, that's amazing. Pretty much everybody's got one of these today, and that really puts automation for your whole home in your pocket at a price that's really pretty affordable compared to how it has been in the last 15 to 20 years.
That plug, I think, is $25. So, what do you think, Jason? Do you buy it?
No.
Are you in?
No.
Oh. Tell us why.
We've already been through this before. I don't have an Echo. I don't have a Fire Stick. I don't have any.
Maybe you need one now.
I don't have
Look
any
at
of this
all
home
stuff.
automation stuff. I still feel like the information it's collecting is going somewhere that I don't know where it's going, and I'm a little nervous about that. And I don't need my phone to turn on a toaster. I can just hit the button. Like, I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff I think is neat, like the doorbell with a camera. That's kind of cool, right? The Nest is cool, or any kind of thermostats that can auto temperature control and have some machine learning in there. Alexa, I don't really see it. All I would do with Alexa is like play the news or play radio on it, I feel like. And, you know, I'm not that lazy yet, so I don't really need a lot of home automation. Like if there's an exterior lighting one, that would be kind of neat, I guess. So I'm sure one of these could do that, right? The plug, if you wanted to.
Of course, yeah.
Could do that. That'd be kind of neat, because if you come home in the winter and it's dark, you have a light on for that. But that's really the only thing I'd use it for. I'm not saying they're not bad things. It just, like, but Amazon toaster, Amazon microwave, come on. Like, I don't know.
So Jason,
You gotta press the button.
Jason is our home automation curmudgeon.
I
And
am.
that's A-okay.
I am.
I do have some home automation. I've got some plugs. I have an Echo. But I have to say, I am not that far away from you. I find the plugs valuable. It is kind of cool to be able to set timers and turn lights on. But once I plug in my Echo, and I usually don't for the same reason, all it ends up happening is my kids just use it to scream at Alexa to play random songs I don't want to hear. And that's literally all they do. I don't use it for anything else. And I feel like I have a Sonos sitting right next to it. And a Sonos, I think, is easier to use because I like the app. And I think the sound quality is just orders of magnitude better.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, well, it's not really good for music. I guess it's good for home control. And I guess I could use it. I can use it, turn on or off my plugs. But I find it's easy to use my phone and just click the button and hit turn on and off. So I'm not convinced either. And I agree that I don't know if I want it in like another thought I had is a smart thermostat. I don't have one. We should have one. My wife doesn't like that stuff. But again, there's one that has Alexa in it. Do you really need your smart thermostat with Alexa? Like, do you really need that? I am not sold you do. So, but Dave, maybe you're more forward-looking than we are. Maybe you're in. Are you invested, or are you going to invest?
You gonna get a microwave?
Yeah.
You know what? I might get the microwaves. I am. I'm a huge tinkerer. I love technology toys. Anything. I don't even eat bread, but I'll get the toaster just so I can make automated toast.
Now, how does the bread get in the toaster?
Well, so we're going to need an Alexa for that. Some sort of arm to put the bread in.
Yeah, I'm just saying. There's still, like, if you're next to the toaster, you got to put the bread in it. You're going to go to your phone and press the button instead of just like,
Yeah.
come on. I don't know.
I mean, physical interfaces are so 1990.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm so old school. What can I say? You know.
We do actually have a gentleman in our professional services team who's come up with a really interesting use case for Alexa, and he has a 100% voice-controlled Sky appliance.
Yes.
So if he's about to update his home computer, he can just say, Alexa, snapshot the Office PC.
Right.
And we will run a snapshot of that Office PC for him.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of neat home automations for Alexa,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of other really neat stuff you could kind of do with it if you're a little bit creative and
Right.
have some command line talents.
Well, yeah, Jay talked about the software updates too and things like that. So it's like they're not only innovating with hardware, but through the software as well. So
Right.
it's good to see.
Yeah, I did one time write an app for Alexa that would allow you to ask questions about Actifio. And the idea is you'd put it in the front lobby, and then it could even go so far, I was thinking about putting in functionality, it would say, hey, where's the receptionist? And it will automatically, if she's not there or he's not there, send an email or send a text to say, hey, you know, someone's here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
But anyway. So
Better than a toaster.
I know, better toaster. Let's try the beer.
Yeah, let's try the beer. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Dave, thanks for coming
Cheers.
on.
Yes,
for
cheers.
having
Thanks
me.
everyone for watching.
Ooh, smells good. There was a lot of pine out of the can when you first cracked it open. And now I smell a lot of just juice.
Trillium on the nose.
It is piney.
It smells like orange.
It's very good.
You guys are gradually converting me from, only liking the more smoother, less bitter ones to become more open-minded.
Oh, this is so good.
Isn't it?
This is really good.
Yeah.
Big fan. I like this. Thank you,
It's light.
Gio.
Yeah, no problem. It's really light.
Really good.
So Jason, what do you have today?
So, my topic harkens back again. I seem to go back to the topics we've already talked about before, and I apologize for that, but they're interesting to me, so I want to talk about them. So, if you remember, we talked about how the NES Classic came out, and there was a Super NES Classic, and I talked about how I have my Raspberry Pi, just use that instead, so I never would buy it. Well, now Sony and PlayStation is following suit with their own mini Sony PlayStation, and it's the Sony PlayStation, not the PS1 or the PS2. So I didn't know this, but there actually was a PlayStation that came out that looked like the PS1, but was not the PS1.
Okay.
It's actually called PlayStation, and it did not have the DualShock controllers on it.
I had that.
So it was like the original PlayStation.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
Kind of like Famicom for Nintendo,
Right.
Yep.
before it was NES.
Right.
And so they're coming out with a version of that for $99.99 US that will have 20 games preloaded on it. So not a ton of games, but a few games on it. And the debate is, what are these games going to be? So they only teased 6 of them, I think, or 5 of them. Final Fantasy VII, I love that. Big Final Fantasy nerd.
Yeah. Okay.
Huge Final Fantasy nerd. I still have my 7, 8, 9 PlayStation 1
Wow.
discs, as well as my X, X2. And
Wow.
and
You
so-
are hardcore.
I am. Yeah, and actually, side note, there's a Final Fantasy beer glass coming out from the Answer tomorrow at their brewery, and someone's getting me one. So.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, Tekken 3, which was the fighting game, which
Yep.
was kind of revolutionary at the time. It was more
Like Mortal
3D
Kombat,
based,
kind of.
a little bit. Ridge Racer Type 4
Yeah,
racing
remember that.
game.
Yep.
And then 2 games I don't know what they are: Wild Arms and Jumping Flash.
I don't know those either.
I don't know those.
Wild
two.
Arms is like an anime-based side-scroller action.
Was it?
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. So the big debate is, though, what are these other 15 games? And, for me to want to buy this, I had a list of games that I thought should be on, like Metal Gear
I
Solid.
love Metal Gear
for sure,
Solid.
right?
That was great.
So good.
Siphon Filter,
Yep.
Yeah.
which was great.
That was great.
Final Fantasy 8 and 9. Come
I'm
on.
not a Final Fantasy guy.
no.
I had one. I didn't like it.
That's funny. I picture you as a I didn't picture Jay as a Final Fantasy guy, but hey.
I actually still have my save with all the materia collected.
Yeah, I do. I have my PlayStation 1 memory card
Yep.
and my PlayStation 2 memory card in a drawer. Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Racing.
Is the original?
Yeah.
The original Gran Turismo.
That's a classic.
I think 1, 2, and 3 were all on PlayStation 1. I think. Because 1 and 2 were more like the top level
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
3 was actually in the driver's seat.
Gotcha.
That's how it was very revolutionary. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
That game was
Not my
pretty
favorite,
fun.
but okay.
A lot of hours spent playing that. Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Of course. Gosh,
Right?
I
Yeah.
love
Great
that
game.
game.
Right?
Great game.
That was a favorite.
And
of
then
mine.
another one I had was Spyro the Dragon, if you remember
Gotcha.
that game. That was a fun game as well.
Vaguely.
So all the debate is now, okay, what are the games going to be? And I think that will probably drive most of the sales. If they're more obscure, less popular games, probably won't be. And the thing about this too, it's a mini one. You can't put your old discs.
So I'm
in
saying
there
you
and play
can't,
it.
but you can
No.
use somehow download new games or something,
Not
or
at
is
this
it hard
time.
coded?
Not at this time. Right now they're hard coded in.
It's on SSD drive, probably.
Probably on maybe on a chip or
Maybe
something,
on like
an
a
SS.
laptop drive.
Yeah,
I've got to think that before too long, somebody will figure out how to
I
retrieve
agree
content
with
from
you
the cloud.
totally.
And
And
you'll
hack
really
their
have
way
an
into it.
unlimited game library.
I agree. Well, if you have a PS3, you could actually download PS1 games and play them on your,
Oh, really?
on your PS3. PS4, I don't know. I don't have a PS4 yet, so I don't know if you can do that still. But that's how I will get these games. But like I said, I have a Raspberry Pi
Yep.
with PlayStation emulator, and I have Final Fantasy 8, 7, 8, and 9 on there already. So, I don't really need to buy this, but it is kind of a cool thing to have at the house, if you want to show it off.
But what do you use for a controller with your Pi? Because those controls used to be hardwired,
I
not
use
wireless.
my PlayStation 3 controller. There's Bluetooth in it.
I
Oh,
see.
okay.
Yeah, so the Raspberry Pi has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in it, and so I'm able to connect to the internet if I
Gotcha.
need to with it, and then I'm also able to use my Bluetooth PlayStation 3 DualShock
Cool.
controllers with it. So
Cool.
So I mean that's my thing. So like I said, we'll see what happens, what the rest of the games are, but it's interesting to see Sony following suit, and
Right.
then you could probably assume that it'll be a PS2 one, probably not a PS3 one, but at least probably PS2 one too. So
Yeah, nice.
see what happens. Dave.
Yeah, so, kind of a spinoff from what Jay had talked about. Salesforce has announced their new Einstein AI
Huh.
with IVR, so interactive voice recognition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the big problem with using something like Alexa for enterprise use is that when we transmit information, we have certain compliances that we have to meet to make sure it's safe and we're not letting client data out. Well, Alexa doesn't do any of this. Einstein does. And it's really interesting because it really kind of tailors itself to what you're using it for. Like here at Actifio, we really have kind of our own specific vocabulary. We talk about things like VDPs and CLUs and DDR. And most IVR-driven voice recognition wouldn't know what any of that is.
Right.
But Einstein will learn. And you can actually start submitting it some of your written content, and it will start to build a real language correlative dictionary. So it knows if you talk about VDP, okay, well, we're talking about moving data. And actually, it's a very smart way of building its own dictionary and kind of evolving into your ecosystem. Now, that's relatively new. They talked about it a few weeks ago. The thing that kind of caught my eye today was the voice recognition portion of it.
Do you speak to it?
You can speak to it. You can get a, like an Echo.
Right.
And I don't think it'll actually work with Echo because these are kind of colliding solutions,
of course.
but something similar. And if you were interviewing somebody to see what their needs were, you could just tell it to record, and you could see, how much data do you have? And it will find on your form in Salesforce total data, and then when that answer is questioned, it'll auto-populate the field.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, and this is, it's very,
Does the
very
mobile
new.
phone app do this, do we think, or does it require this special stand? Because it'd be kind of cool to be like, hey, let's have a customer meeting, Dave, click, and then we just talk. And wouldn't it be cool if it would just sort of automatically fill in my Salesforce fields for my deal or whatever to make it simpler?
Yeah, so the way it looks is it looks like it's very much like Google, where it records it, it sends it to a home server, does transcription, and then gives you output.
Gotcha.
So I guess as long as you had an internet connection, I don't know that they actually support that now, but it's certainly possible.
Could be cool.
And did Salesforce create this AI themselves, or do they buy it, or where did Einstein come from?
It's not clear if Einstein is a licensed version of somebody else's technology or if this is an in-house project.
Okay.
But when I look around, nobody else has it, so I'm led to believe that this is in fact an in-house development project for Salesforce.
Wow, that would be crazy.
That is pretty neat. I like that.
That'd be super innovative. Wow.
I know in many companies I've worked for, maintaining Salesforce.com records is always an incredible headache. And anything you can do to simplify and automate that can make a big deal for salespeople because they want to spend their time selling, not filling in Salesforce.com. But you have to manage things effectively.
Yep, agree. Definitely.
Cool.
So, Jay, you have another topic?
I do.
Okay.
I have two topics we can choose from.
Okay.
My topic number 1 is iOS 12. My topic number 2 is MongoDB.
I'd go MongoDB.
All right. So MongoDB, we all know that. It's one of these newer sort of databases that's pretty cool, open source.
It is a database, yes.
Yes. And in fact, the headline of this article, a little scary, hackers launch a new wave of attacks on unsecured MongoDB database instances. And essentially, it's one of these ransomware things where they figure out and find sort of insecure MongoDB instances. They go in, they encrypt the data, and they have to pay, they charge $650 to unlock it. According to this article, 26,000 MongoDBs were impacted by this.
Wow.
Scary.
Oh, man.
That's like a...
They're not asking a lot, $650?
Well, that's true. That's true. But it's still like... And it's not really a reflection of MongoDB per se, I don't think, but it's just a broad reflection of the fact that these hackers are everywhere. And they're just trying to find any opportunity to get money from people by just messing with their data.
Well, it's almost $17 million with a ransom.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That can add up. And so what's the next thing going to be, right? Who knows what database or application or whatever the next thing, but certainly they're looking for it. And certainly it's a reminder to everyone that you have to make sure that you have an effective strategy to stop this. So, security protocols, that kind of stuff. But also make sure that you have a strategy that, God forbid it happens to you, that you have a way to recover from it.
Agreed.
Because if you don't, inevitably you probably will get attacked and you need to be able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talk to customers about.
All the time.
When the discussion comes around security and ransomware and how Actifio can help, we always talk about how we're able to recover from that point in time, so that if the ransomware occurs, they can go back to right before it happens and restore all their systems so that they are up and running and don't have to pay any money.
And if you haven't seen it yet, Dr. John Myers has a wonderful demo on how he actually used exactly what Jason was just talking about to prevent a Y-cry outbreak.
Right.
WannaCry, right?
WannaCry, Y-cry, something cry. Somebody's crying.
Makes you want to cry.
So yes. Cry.
Makes you want to cry, exactly.
Yeah, so maybe if we can, Gio, we'll post the link to that demo in our video.
I can do that.
Cool.
And the nice part is even if you pay them the $650, what surety do you have? I mean, they've unlocked your data, but that doesn't mean they're gone.
I know.
How do you know that this doesn't become okay, well, now we want $650 per month or per week to access your data?
I know.
Right,
I know.
right.
And that's the scary thing. There's no guarantee you can get it back when you forget that. Even if you pay them the $650, they may say sorry.
Yeah.
Now maybe hopefully these guys are not doing that, but there's plenty of cases where they do. They thanks for your money. Too bad. So long.
Right, and then if it happens and then they actually give you your systems back, you have to scrub every single system.
Completely.
And if you miss one
I know.
system, whether it's an end device or
Right.
a laptop, guess what? They're still in.
I know.
You mean that we're not counting on good ethical behavior from the people who locked down your
Yeah,
data?
exactly.
Nope, definitely not.
Oh, fair enough.
Exactly.
Yep. So that's it this week.
That is. My only other point, and I won't even spend much time on it, is there was some benchmarks on iOS 12, the new one they just announced. And the amazing thing about it, surprisingly, is that it increases performance on the new phones, which you expect that, but even on the old ones. Even like the iPhone 5S, which is, gosh, who knows how many years old, 4 or 5, still is about 10, 20% faster. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a really big deal.
I mean, usually you upgrade, then your phone craps out.
Always.
Right?
Always.
You get a new phone or you got to downgrade if you can. Reflash it. So that's pretty cool.
So I don't know what Apple did, but I give them a lot of credit for doing that, particularly since they took heat in the past for the whole throttling thing with batteries.
Yep.
But in this case with the firmware, they really did right by the people who have older phones.
So my 6S
Should be faster.
should be faster.
Have you gone? Oh, it's not available yet, is it?
No, it's not available yet.
I don't think so.
announced.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get the pop-up when it's ready. Trust me.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Cool.
So, cool. Well,
I think that's it.
yeah, that's it for Actifio on Tech this week. Thanks to Dave Fowler for coming. Thanks to
for having
Gio for the beer. And thanks to
yeah.
all of you watching, whether you watched it live or going to watch the recording. We appreciate it. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.